Hey everybody. Um, Theme Park Recommendations made a video about the best and worst outcome for all of the parks in the Six Flags Cedar Fair merger. While this is inspired by it, but it is not meant to be a ripoff of it. I'm going to say for all of the separate admission properties, what I would give them in 2025. I don't care what has been rumored, hinted, or pretty much all but confirmed, or track appearing. This is just what I would do for the whole chain. Comment below what your home park is, and if I gave it a good addition. Let's begin. Because I'm a Six Flags person, with my home park being less than a mile away, I'm going to start with the Six Flags parks. Then I will do the Cedar Fair parks, and I'm doing theme parks first, and then Ranger Wake Up for the water parks. Six Flags Over Texas. I actually went there, and I couldn't find many problems with that park. Um, Apart from Aquaman not being open, but let's skip that part. I'm going to give them a collection of three flat rides, a Zamperla Air Racers ride, a Zamperla Disco Coaster, and the new Cedar Fair ride that they've added to two parks so far, the Windstars. It's pretty much it's pretty much like a Magic Bikes ride where if you push out, then your car rises up, and if you hold it really close towards you, most of the time you stay low to the ground. So that's essentially what it is. Six Flags Over Georgia. I'm going to give them phase 2 of Hurricane Harbor with a Pro Slide Behemoth Bowl, and I'm going to give them a Lazy River. Also, uh, since Cedar Fair doesn't do this, I am now making that water park now free with admission to Over Georgia, and not one where you have to pay like 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks or whatever. Plus, in my opinion, it's not large enough to be considered an upcharge. Six Flags St. Louis. I'm going to revamp Ninja, where I'm going to give it new trains, new paint, and some reprofiles of tracking. Essentially, what Over Georgia did with Ninja, turning it into Blue Hawk, and I'm going to rename it Great American Scream Machine. Yes, it is in the studio backlot area, but their Joker swinging ship is being renamed back to Buccaneer, so I could see them completely retheming Studio Backlot to a non-DC name. Six Flags Great Adventure. I'm going to give them a Mack Power Splash coaster, and I'm going to call it Aquaman Power Wave or Aquaman Power Dive or some sort of Aquaman theme. And it is going to replace the Joker, their SNS free spin, and Harley Quinn is going to be renamed Wave Chaser because yes, okay, I'm sort of canceling myself with this, but I'm essentially replacing I'm getting D I'm un-DC theming a ride, and since that is in the lakefront area, I'm making that area a little more coherent with theming. Plus, Aquaman does make more sense than Joker does. Don't worry, Joker is being relocated. Six Flags Magic Mountain. That park. I'm taking out. Well, I don't know if there's enough land. If there are spots that don't have any rides, there probably are. But I'm going to give them a Zamperla Nebulas, which is that kind of like a modern version of a falling star by Zamperla. And I'm also going to give them a Zamperla Endeavor. Six Flags Great America. I'm going to take the Camp Cartoon Kids area, which used to be themed to Hanna-Barbera properties, and I'm going to turn that into Bugs Bunny Boomtown. I'm going to get rid of the Wilderness Theater that is barely ever used, and I'm going to give that area a couple of new flat rides, or a couple of new kids rides. They've already removed like 3 kids rides already, so There should be, so there's plenty of room. Six Flags America. I'm going to do a makeover of Roar by GCI, giving it Millennium Flyer trains and upgrading the track to allow Millennium Flyer trains. Also, Hurricane Harbor is now again free with admission. Great Escape. This one, originally I wanted to give them a Sally Interactive Dark Ride, but because they just got Bobcat, I am replacing their I'm replacing their former Ferris wheel with a Zamperla Nebulos. Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Honestly, I'm not sure what to give this park. They have pretty much everything. So I am going to give them a Zamperla Endeavor, and Hurricane Harbor is now free with admission. Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. I originally wanted to give them a major edition, but I decided to kind of scale back. So Discovery Kingdom, which I did not have an acceptable experience there. I'm gonna give them new trains and new paint on their boomerang coaster, and I'm not sure what to rename it. Um, Worlds of Fun has a ride there called. So, taking a name from Worlds of Fun, I'm either going to call it Zambezi Zinger or I'm going to call it Zulu. Uh, comment below. Uh, comment below, Discovery Kingdom fans, which one you would rename it to. Six Flags New England. Um, I'm going to give this park an 8-lane racing slide complex. Six Flags Mexico, again, a Zamperla Endeavor. La Ronde, I am because they got rid of their Intamin stand-up coaster Cobra. I am replacing it with a Intamin's X. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't hate you, Canada. Not a fan of the park, but I don't hate Canada. I'm giving you guys a Premier Rides LSM launch coaster, and it's going to be called Cyclone with a PSY clone. Um, it could be called something else. I mean, I know that Canada's Wonderland has a ride called Cyclone, so thinking off the top of my head, Mac, Full Throttle. I guess I'll call it Full Throttle then, if Cyclone isn't good. Frontier City. They have the Nightmare Mine building that is currently empty, so I'm going to give them an RMC Wild Moose, and it's going to be renamed Blackout because that's been the name of several um, Cedar Fair haunted houses. So okay. Six Flags Darien Lake. I'm going to revamp Mind Eraser with a new track, new trains, and paint, and I'm going to rename it Joker. Cedar Point. Ooh, now it gets good. Cedar Point fanboys, I hope you're okay with this. Originally, I was going to give them a Zamperla Log Flume and a Zamperla Family Coaster, kind of intertwined, but given Top Thrill 2, I think they'd want something. They're maybe a little burnt on Zamperla for the time being. So I'm going to give them a Sally Justice League Battle for Metropolis interactive dark ride. Valley Fair. Hey Ranger, wake up. I'm going to uh, get rid of their Barefoot Beach kids play area. They have another kids area called Squirt Splash, so don't worry, parents. And I'm replacing it with one of those family play areas with a tipping bucket and multiple slides. I was considering replacing Squirt Splash, but Barefoot Beach it looks like it has a larger footprint for a better addition. Dorney Park, I'm going to give you guys a Pro Slide Behemoth Bowl to beef up your water park a little bit, maybe to replace some of the slides that were removed. Worlds of Fun, you guys are getting a Pro Slide Tornado. Sorry. Knott's Berry Farm, Montezuma reopens. Probably should have gone with Gerstlauer for this. Michigan's Adventure. You guys are getting the SNS free spin from Six Flags Great Adventure. Originally, I was going to give it to Valley Fair, but then I decided Valley Fair should get something else instead. And instead of being called Joker, it's now going to be called Gear Spin, taking a name from Carowinds. California's Great America, a park I did go to and had a much better time than at Discovery Kingdom. I am going to take their Grizzly coaster, keep the lift hill, but the drop is going to be made steeper. Um, Maybe have a tunnel, and replace some of the straightaways with airtime hills and maybe put a tunnel there as well or instead. If the park's Yeah, I know the park's only going to be around for maybe another 5, 10 years, but at the very least, make Grizzly a little bit better, please. Please. Canada's Wonderland. This was another tough one, and honestly, the only idea I had was, and I had an idea for two of the coasters, but I decided to be realistic, and now it's just going to be improving one of the coasters. I'm giving new trains and new paint to their Flight Deck SLC, and it is being renamed Pandemonium. Carowinds is going to get a water park expansion with a Pro Slide Tornado and 6-lane racing slides. King's Dominion is also going to get 6-lane racing slides. Kings Island is going to get Pro Slide rocket slides. Now here we go into the separate admission water parks. And again, I'm going to start with Six Flags, and then I will do the Cedar Fair ones. Hurricane Harbor in LA. I'm going to have their Black Snake Summit water slides repainted. Cedar Fair does something that I really enjoy, and I believe Six Flags has done this too based on the photos on their website, where they take the drab, boring, white or black or all black slides and they give them new colors to make them fresh and modernized. Cedar Point did it, Schlitterbahn has done it, so I'm going to do that for several of these water parks. Hurricane Harbor, Texas is going to repaint the Caribbean Chaos and Atlantic Panic. Whitewater is repainting Caribbean Plunge. Hurricane Harbor in New Jersey is adding a Pro Slide Behemoth Bowl. Hurricane Harbor, Chicago. Honestly, the only idea I thought about was a new, larger permanent entrance to the water park, but honestly, I can't think of much that this water park needs to improve on, aside from general cosmetics. Hurricane Harbor in Mexico, couldn't think of anything. Hurricane Harbor Concord, I'm going to give them a racing slide complex, even though the water park looks very small. Hurricane Harbor in Phoenix and Splashtown in Texas, I honestly can't think of anything. Hurricane Harbor in Oklahoma City, I am repainting their Dive Bomber water slides. Hurricane Harbor Rockford, I was going to give them a modern family play area, but I'll save that for a future year and instead repaint their Bermuda Triangle water slide. Cedar Point Shores, while they could add something, I'm worried that I'm breaking the bank, so honestly, I was thinking about like a rocket slide, but that'll maybe come in the near future. Not Soak City and Brayton Park, I'm giving them a rocket slide to help them better compete with Raging Water, San Dimas. Schlitterbahn Galveston, which I have been to, I'm giving them racing slides, multi-lane racing slides. And Schlitterbahn New Braunfels, about the only slides they haven't repainted are the downhill racers, so I'm going to repaint them. So there you go. Those are my ideas for each separate admission water park. Um, yeah, that's about it. I can't. I also I'm trying to think. What I would like to see from Cedar Fair in general is a little less DC theming. DC has pretty much infected all of the Six Flags parks to where every new ride is DC themed, and I would kind of like to see a little more original names or non DC names. But if the area is DC themed, then that's okay, I guess, but just have it in one area and don't make the entire park DC. I know I sound like one of those purists and I'm probably fighting a losing battle, but that's my wish for Six Flags and Cedar Fair in the year 2025. Comment below what you thought. Comment below which of these additions seemed good and which seemed completely terrible. I'm always open to suggestions. Have a happy and safe July 4th weekend.